Well, all at once, the fawns are running everywhere, even twins. And the fox. These animals are running good, as hot as it is during the day. Even old Dirty Dan's out playing around, making his round. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the foothills of the Smoky. Another chapter of As the Ridge Turns here in East Tennessee. Hope y'all had a good 4th of July. It sure is hot. I hope you're staying cool. It's been a dry spell, but we got just enough rain to keep things going, but it is so hot. Hope y'all doing well. The animals seem to be moving well. No matter how hot it is, they're still gotta eat. And the pond, well, they get just enough rain to keep the weeds growing. That's for sure. It's like a jungle down here. But anyway, guys, hope you're doing good. Enjoy yourself, relax, and let's see what stepped in front of the camera. You know, I was beginning to think, am I ever going to see these fawns? Well, look right here. Finally. Beautiful little fawns, and they seem to have exploded everywhere. They must have had a late rut last year, but that full moon here we just had brought them all here. Ain't they beautiful? So precious. Following Mommy. And they're everywhere. Here's a set of twins. Ain't they precious? And I mean, all these fawns has had them. Here's another set of twins. They just seem to be running everywhere. But I'm glad they had them. I was beginning to wonder, am I ever going to see these fawns? And here's a fox during the day. They're feeding their young too. They got work to do. And the turkeys seem to be running around good too, but it's been so hot. I don't know how these little animals stand it. There's a little blue jay. Birds, they all trying to survive just day to day. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a crow or what. It's too big for a blackbird. And there's old Yeller easing across the ridge. The original old Yeller. It's so hot on these animals. And there's old Dirty Dan, making his rounds. He's moved around good this week. And he's there on the rock ledges on the side of these cliffs. And the old fox is too. They just making the rounds. I'd say they pass each other. And there's the old turkey. You can see they're burning up. But they making their rounds, scratching across this ridge. Beautiful animals, tell you. And a little at the log, there's a little cardinal. And there's Chucky. He's out scrounging. Eating plants. But he's just enjoying the day. And there's Ricky. He's always finding something to cut on or eat. Roots, trees, it don't matter. But he has to say hi. Right in front of the camera. And there's a little precious fawn going down the ridge, following Mommy around. And at the tree, turkey's just picking their way through. And old Dirty Dan, he loves this little spot just below the motel. He's got to say hi as he moves on through, out making his day. But he comes back in. He just comes and goes. I haven't seen Diane, and I don't know why they haven't had no young this year. Maybe they're getting too old. But he's still enjoying life. And he's always checking out his little rock on the patio. He's so comical. And he just comes and goes, lays down a while, gets up, moves around again. But he spooks easy. He just comes and goes. And there's little Ricky on his perch. Too hot to sit long, ain't it, Ricky? And there's some little wrens. Got you making a nest in Ricky's perch there. That's a bad place as much as these coons come through there. I hope they don't make one there. It wouldn't last long. But nature's gonna do what nature does. No Dirty Dan? He's just enjoying the patio. Checking things out. And down here at the pond, I cut these weeds down 1 week. And when I go back next week, look at them. But the deer and the animals are still in here. You just can't see them. But them weeds will go away eventually. It's just that time of year. But on the other camera, well, you can see the deer here in this little clearing above the pond. They love it. All the different weeds and grasses, they always eating on them, picking through. And all these other animals too, you just can't see them. And there's a coon during the day. Ain't he precious? And the little squirrels, they love this place, but they gotta watch out for these hawks. Them hawks are sitting there watching. Come dark, the coon's coming off the den tree. Now the katydids are in full force now. I have to remember every time I see these fawns, the katydids are coming out at about the same time. I've noticed that. But the coons, they just moving on through the ridge, what they can get to, and gotta say hi in the camera. One does it, they all gotta do it. Possums, they just moving across. I guess they just pass each other down these trails. Unless it's a predator, they'll move away. The old coons, they just see what they can get into across this ridge. They are the masters of this ridge tonight. And there's a little baby possum. I'm glad they're still hanging around and surviving. This life lives hard in these woods. But here's what they gotta watch out for, old coyotes. But they all seem to live together, just nature. And even the deer coming through, they check out the camera every once in a while. And these little deer just make the rounds. Now they've had their fawns, the does are starting to gang back up. Out on the trail, there's the old fox moving through. And the possum. I guess he's checking out the light on this camera, this little infrared camera. coons, they just gotta say hi. Curious, moving on. And they move down these rock trails, these little cliffs, little ledges along these rocks, crossing areas. That's where I put these cameras. He's checking things out for his buddies that coming on through. They just move on through. Here's a strange cat. This is a newcomer. I haven't seen this cat. Like a dark gray. And he's curious too. Let's check out this camera. He needs to meet old Yaller. But this is a strange picture. What is this? I don't know what this is. I stopped it here. The back of something. I don't know what that is. Strange picture. At the tree. I'm just passing on through. Making around. And the old possums too. Making their way back towards the motel. And up the motel. Possums coming in. On a hot night. They gonna turn in. But you don't know what they're gonna do. He changed his mind. But old Willie, he's gonna turn in. This is their home. The coons, there's old One-Eyed Jack. Ain't seen him in a while. Just got one eye. Ain't seen no tail this week though. And Mr. and Mrs. Rocky moving on through. Always on their normal stop. Never fail. And there's that strange cat. It ain't black. It's like a dark gray color. I don't know, never seen it before. And up on the ridge, old possum just moving on through, coming across the ridge. And so are the coons. They usually work their way across this ridge going to the pond. And at the pond, this is all up them. The coons are here. I just can't pick them up in these weeds and these thick brush. But come daylight, here's a little young buck growing its antlers back, just browsing at dawn. And the fox at dawn, making his round, cool in the morning. Even at the Rock Motel, Freddie or Betty here, just making a round. That looks like Betty. But look here at dawn. Little young life, fawns, following mommy around. And there they are again. Ain't they precious? Just exploring their new world. And here's the twin. Precious little animals. Well, that one's just a single, but here's the twin. And sometimes I wish some of these fawns I could paint a number on them so I could know which is which. But that's just nature. They all look the same. And there's old Dirty Dan up. Another day unfolds on the ridge. And the little squirrels, it's their turn. They just checking all the other animals out, watching for them hawks. But they have their time too. They love to forage. And they comical too. They find something to eat on, waiting on them nuts to get ripe. And that ain't but about a month away. Here's one got some roots or buds or something carrying them back to the nest. Don't know what that is. But they're eating on something. Well, that's just what's stepped in front of the cameras this week. I'm glad to see the ponds. So y'all take it easy, stay cool, God bless, and I'll see you next time.